Marriage is the most risky bet a man can place on his life. Odds are stacked against you guys, and I will tell you this, that no woman is on your team fully. It's all you. You must provide, protect, and once your ability of doing both go down just a little bit, the woman will leave you. And even if it's for a very short period of time, the clock that a woman has against you in a relationship, it does not take for too long. So you got to protect your assets, you got to protect your livelihood, your passion, your sanity. So in my past, I was married for 8 years. Before I go into a bit more detail, I will talk about the fact that a woman, you should not kneel down in front of a woman to propose. There's this whole social construct of you being all this romantic, movie style proposal, and social media is like all these trends, and it's just gross, guys. You know it inside. You know it very well, damn inside, that hey man, I am looking like a schmuck. I was gonna use the P word, but you look like a schmuck basically. So in front of kneeling down in front of a woman, just because you want access to you know what I mean. So for all your life, no, it's not gonna happen like that, guys. If you're kneeling down in front of a woman, you're being so submissive and begging her to be in your life because you so badly want her and access to basic sex and all that. So you are just putting yourself in a very inferior position. You have to understand that you bring the most value to a relationship. Women know this really well, and they're very, very smart about that. They can understand a man's value, future value, very, very quickly. And if you're on a path, if you're ambitious, she knows you're going to go get there. She knows very well that even if the current situation is like chips are down, all that kind of stuff, but she will cash in at some later point when you are fully successful and all that kind of stuff. So very few women, and that's a topic for later, very, very few women will be the ones that will stick around with you till the day you die. And believe it or not, most of them are very beautiful women. A lot of beautiful women, especially those very pretty, super hot ones, not those the world calls them baddies and all that. I'll get that into later. I'll explain you the profiles of which women will actually fit the criteria of long-lasting companions. But in general, especially if you go towards these baddies and feminist women who like to be bosses in the house, and they want to go out and career women and all that, man, you gotta stay away from these. You are placing the riskiest bet on your life, on your money, on your future. Right now, if you're in your 28, 29 years old, if you're in the late 20s, and you've been toying with the idea that, every one of my friends is getting married and I must do the same because this is how the world works. No, man, this is not how the fucking world works, okay? So you need to just snap out of it and continue building whatever you're thinking of building, okay? Build. And when you're 30, 32, even then, this whole concept of, oh man, what would the society think if my child is out of a wedlock? Okay, no, you don't have to get into the wedlock to have a child. Snap out of it. Yes, you can all complain, a lot of my friends would say, oh man, that's not a Muslim thing to do. I was born in a Muslim family, but I'm kind of mixed right now. Yes, I do believe in God and all that, but I don't practice my faith that much. But, and sometimes I do think I should, but that's for another day as well. But I tell you this, that you must think hard, because I thought my ex-wife was on my team. Like, her entire family that was my crew and this and that. Like, we used to travel together. And one day, my dad passes away. Until that day in the hospital, I thought everyone was on my team. And 2 days later, my bank lady calls me, and she's like, after my dad passed away, I mean, he wasn't even buried at that time. And my bank lady called me, and she's like, oh, I just got a call from your wife that she was asking who's on the title of the house. And I'm grieving. I'm like in a state of huge shock. And I'm like, what the hell? Why would she be calling the bank asking about that? She's like, I don't know. It would look really weird. And every time in my career, if someone asks like that, is going around fishing, asking for that, can I call you? Can I talk to your dad? And I'm like, he just passed away. And she goes, oh, really? And when did he pass away? And I was like, well, 2 days ago. She's like, oh my God. You know what? I'm so sorry, but you might want to come and talk to me at my bank location near my house. It was like a 25-minute away. And I was like, all right, well, I'll come tomorrow maybe. Right now I'm kind of busy. So long story short, I went the next day to her, and she started saying like, oh, your ex-wife, your wife, ex-wife now, but has been calling and asking who's on the title and this and that. And my a couple of friends who were lawyers, when I discussed with them, one of them was a criminal lawyer, not even a family lawyer. He's like, yo, man, you gotta really watch out for this, because I think they're conspiring against you. This is not a good thing. And lo and behold, about 2 weeks later, she comes and says, hey, you know what? Things haven't been working out, and I want a divorce. I'm like, what the hell? Like, literally a day before she was in bed with me. Like, she was in the shower with me, doing all sorts of intimate things that you can think of doing. A couple does. And I'm like, what the hell? So someone in her family who was who was becoming a lawyer might have told her that, hey, since the dad is out of the way, now you'll get access to the assets will transfer into his name, and you'll get a bigger chunk, 50-50, out of him. And guess what? Like, in Canada, there's a law, which a lot of people probably don't know, and I should really enlighten people with this if they are ever in this situation, that if you have, if there's no will, and say you and your dad bought the house before you got married, and if there's no will from your dad, and your mom is still alive, guess what? At the time of death, 1 hour before that, I don't know how that's calculated, but 1 hour before that, his estate transfers to his spouse automatically. And my ex-wife didn't know about that, and did not have a clue about that. So that kind of saved my ass a little bit. But because in divorce court and in the settlement out of court and all that, that came up, and she was awestruck. She was shocked to her core. And hey, you know what? Karma, baby. It's it is what it is. And no matter what, there was no turning back after that. I mean, I'm not going to get into a lot of details. I'm not going to drop names here and all that kind of stuff, because she started a good life of hers. She's had a child, which she always wanted. And my life is kind of a mess right now as well. So maybe, I'm just trying to build it back up. I mean, I found a very, very good woman and very beautiful woman in my life. And I'll tell you that, that this one is the one that I was talking about to think of marrying and stuff. So, but we'll get into those specifics later. But all in all, I'm going to tell you guys, watch the F out. Because you only get one shot at life, man. And I'll tell you, for men, your late 20s and all of your 30s is what makes you who you will be. And these are your golden years, and you can live a very, very wealthy, financially free life after 40. Unfortunately, in my case, I got crushed because of divorce, and not so much from divorce as well, because 50% is still 50% of what I had amassed making and all that. But now, then COVID came and a few other mishaps, Canadian costs of living, all that ranting about interest rates. Yes, that all has messed my life quite a bit as well, and then some health issues, but more mental. I kind of lost my mental fortitude, and I think that is why I am in the position I am. And I wouldn't say karma or anything like that, because I just lost focus. And upon a lot of reflection, I'm slowly getting it all back. And it's never too late, guys. It's never too late. 3 days grace. 3 days grace. Never too late. So go ahead and listen to that song. And I'll sign off right now, but I'll tell you this, that marriage is a very, very risky bet. So have children if you want, but hey, you know what? Don't really need to get married. And don't let anyone talk you out of it, of whatever you think is good for you, because your gut always never lies. It never lies. I'll tell you, listen to your gut feelings, guys, and make the most out of life. So, ciao.